workplaces are starting to reflect the informality of society at a large. And as workplace interactions become more and more complex, so does discourteous behavior. I want you to think about it. We're saying please and thank you less and less, right? We have cultures of screaming, yelling, and belittling each other. When was the last time you opened the door for a colleague? Do you go in the kitchen and do you leave that half a cup of coffee in the pot so you don't have to wash it out and refill it for your colleagues and friends? You know who I'm talking to, right? All of those are what we consider incivilities in the workplace. What you fail to understand is that a culture of incivility is a breeding ground for individuals such as these. Everybody ever heard the boat scenario where you have those 10 people on the boat and you're actively engaged, those 3 people, they're rowing and they're rowing and they're rowing. They want to make sure that boat's going to go, right? And then you have 5 people who are just sitting there, enjoying the ride, enjoying the ride. Thank you, 3 people, this is fun, right? And then you have those ones that are actively disengaged. And guess what they're doing if they're actively disengaged? They're poking holes in the boat. Sink, sink, sink. Working relationships are fraying. They are fraying across the workplace. And one of those reasons is due to technology. Technology can be our best friend, right? How many of you sleep with your phone? And you know I'm telling the truth, right? You sleep with the phone, it's the last thing you see before you go to sleep. I love you, phone. And the first thing you look at when you wake up, I love you, phone. Oh, hey, by the way, husband, kids. But first, my phone, I take you to the bathroom. I take you this place. You go everywhere with me. We love technology. And as a matter of fact, we spend 6 hours a day checking emails, checking social media, surfing the internet. But when we have what we call those virtual walls around us that isolates us, guess what happens? We feel empowered to hurl insults at one another, right? We feel empowered to, take you down a notch, but from a safe distance. Because what I might tell you via email or via text, I can't look at a warm, beating heartbeat in the eyes and say those things. We don't know, we don't realize that having a policy of civility, having a culture of civility, that is the foundation for mitigating workplace harassment, discrimination, and all of those other acts of gross misconduct. If you're so highly skilled to take a heart out of a person's body while that person is still alive and operate on it, you probably think very highly of yourself, right? Now, I had open heart surgery when I was 11 years old. And I was hoping that that surgeon thought that he was God because I needed him to save my life. But the problem is when you think you're God, do you think you leave that in the operating room? No, you exhibit it in there and you take it out. And the reason that I bring that up is because many medical malpractice claims, many deaths that occur on the operating table are due to incivilities that are happening in the operating room. Because guess what? A surgeon, they can't do open heart surgery by themselves, right? Who do they need in there? They need nurses and scrub techs. And if you're screaming and yelling at them, right? Guess what happens? Or you witness them throw someone out of the operating room. Can you concentrate? There's no way. Your brain does not have the capacity for someone to act uncivil to you or to witness incivility and work at your top performance. It just doesn't work. 80% of all doctor's visits are due to stress. That highly valued performer, right? They know how to get the job done. They know how to bring the big bucks in, but they don't know how to say thank you. That is an issue if you think about civility in the workforce. Think about who Chick-fil-A employs. They employ mostly teenagers. And this is their first jobs. Teenagers that are saying please and thank you. Teenagers who, if you come into the dining room, they will actually pull out the chair for you. Teenagers who will bring your food. They won't make you stand there and wait for your number to be called. They bring your food to the table. Teenagers. I mean, have you guys met a teenager in 2018? I have an 18-year-old, and I just can't imagine him doing any of that. And in fact, their lemonade is delicious too. So when I saw how well they were performing, they were getting these teenagers to act like this, I said, well, obviously their lemonade is so delicious because it's filled with respect. So I bought a gallon of it, took it home to my son, told him to drink some. It did not work. Did not work. I am talking about creating engaging, civilized workplaces that people want to come to every day.